so, I deleted Instagram on a random Tuesday night, not because I wanted to, because I had to. Okay? I was sitting in my room at RAM, scrolling through reels for the fourth hour straight, and I suddenly realized I couldn't remember what I'd even watched. Like my brain was just blank. And here's the scary part. I had a midterm in 6 hours. 6 hours. Okay. I looked at my screen time that week and saw this 60 hours on social media. That's almost a full-time job. Except instead of getting paid, I was getting anxiety, bad grades, and this weird feeling like I was watching my own life from the outside. So I made a deal with myself, REWIRED. No Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter. Just me, my brain, and a bunch of replacement habits I found online. And dude, what happened to my brain was actually insane. By day, RSRE, I got a neuroplasticity assessment done, basically a brain scan that shows how your neural pathways change. And the results, I'm going to show you everything. The good, the bad, and the absolutely terrifying part about what social media was doing to me. Now, but first, let me explain why I even tried this. THE problem, why social media destroys your brain. Okay, real talk. Social media isn't just a little distracting. It's literally rewiring your brain. There's this thing called dopamine conditioning. Every time you get a like, a comment, or even just scroll to something mildly interesting, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. That's the same chemical you get from eating chocolate, winning a game. Or, yeah, harder drugs, and your brain? It's smart. It learns. After a few months of this, your brain starts craving that scroll. It doesn't even care about the content anymore. It just wants the sensation of novelty. Here's where it gets dark. A study from the University of Pennsylvania found that people who used social media for just sensors minutes a day showed increased feelings of loneliness and depression after 3 weeks. Sensor minutes. Most of us are doing Sifu look hours, and it's not just your mood. Your attention span? Destroyed. Your ability to focus on hard tasks? Gone. Your sleep? Completely wrecked because blue light and cortisol spikes right before bed. I felt all of this. I'd sit down to study and last maybe bat minutes before I needed a break. But the break would turn into Kosher's minutes of scrolling. Then I'd feel guilty. Then I'd procrastinate more to avoid the guilt. It was a trap, and I was stuck. Yeah, so on February 3rd, I deleted every social app from my phone, cold turkey, and I replaced them with 5 specific habits that scientists say can actually reverse this brain damage. Now, let me walk you through what I did. Okay, so I couldn't just delete the apps and do nothing. That's how you relapse on day 2. I needed replacement dopamine. Okay. Here's what I committed to for REWIRED, habit, morning pages, minutes. Every morning, before I checked my phone, I wrote 3 pages of unfiltered thoughts by hand. No rules, just brain dump. This was supposed to clear mental clutter and rebuild my attention span. Habit, deep work blocks, Toaster's minutes, twice a day. I put my phone in another room and work on one task for Chaucer's minutes straight. No music, no tabs, no quick checks. Just me and the work. King. Habit. Nature walks without headphones. Ursur's minutes. Every afternoon, I'd walk outside with nothing. No podcast, no music, no phone. Just existing. This felt insane at first, but it's supposed to rewire your brain to handle boredom. Habit. Reading physical books. Sensors minutes before bed. I swapped scrolling before sleep with actual books. Fiction, nonfiction, didn't matter. The goal was to rebuild linear thinking and kill the blue light addiction. Habit, social time IRL at least, hour a day. I forced myself to hang out with friends in person. Phones allowed during the hangout. Real conversations, eye contact. The stuff we forget how to do, that was the plan. Sounds simple, right? Yeah. It wasn't. Day 1 was fine. I felt like a productivity god. Day 2? I wanted to throw my laptop out the window. Here's what nobody tells you about quitting social media. The first week is actual hell, okay? I'd unlock my phone and my thumb would automatically swipe to where Instagram used to be. I did this probably wizard's times on day 3. Muscle memory is real, and the boredom, oh my God, the boredom. I'd finish eating lunch and just sit there. No phone to scroll. No video to watch, just me, my sandwich, and the crushing weight of silence. I felt like I was missing out on everything. My friends were posting stories. There were memes I wasn't seeing. Group chats I wasn't in. But here's the thing, I stuck with the habits. Morning pages felt stupid at first. I'd write stuff like I don't know what to write. This is dumb. I miss TikTok. But by day 5, something shifted. I started writing actual thoughts, feelings I didn't even know I had. It was like my brain was defragging. Deep work blocks were brutal. I could only last sensors minutes at first before my brain started screaming for a distraction. But I used the Pomodoro technique, R minutes on, UV minutes off, and slowly built up. The nature walks, those were the weirdest. I felt like an NPC just walking around with no objective. But by day 6, I started noticing things. Birds, trees, the way sunlight hits buildings. It sounds corny, but it was like I was seeing the world for the first time in years. Indeed, by day 7, I wasn't happy yet, but I wasn't as anxious. My sleep was better, and I'd finished 2 assignments that I'd been avoiding for weeks. Sumda. Something was working. Banda. Band week 2 is when things got weird. Band in a good way. Manda, my brain started, huh? Working differently. I'd sit down to study and actually focus for the full courser's minutes. No joke. I read scissors pages of a textbook in one sitting and remembered most of it. That hadn't happened since middle school. My mood was more stable. I wasn't getting those random anxiety spikes where I'd feel like everyone hated me because I saw a friend hanging out without me online. Banda O, and I stopped checking my phone every 5 minutes. I'd leave it in my bag during class and forget about it. That sounds small, but it felt like a superpower. Someday. But here's the thing, I also felt lonely, like really lonely. Planja, because here's what social media does. It tricks you into thinking you're connected. You see your friends' faces every day. You comment on their posts. You send memes. Your brain registers that as social interaction, but it's not. It's parasocial. It's fake depth. When I cut that off, I realized I hadn't had a real conversation with some of my closest friends in weeks. We'd been talking, but not really connecting, Dan. So I texted 3 friends and said, "Hey, want to grab food?" No phones. 2 of them thought I was joking. 1 said yes. Jane, we hung out for 2 hours. We talked about real stuff, stress, dreams, stupid childhood memories. And I felt more recharged after that one hangout than after a month of online interactions. Bland. That's when it clicked. Social media doesn't connect you. It isolates you while making you think you're connected. Bland by day, sirs. I wasn't missing the apps anymore. I was missing the real world I'd been ignoring. Dungeon, okay, week 3 is where I actually became a different person. Dungeon, I'm not exaggerating. Dungeon on my productivity through the roof. I finished a project that I'd been working on for 2 months. In 4 days, banged my sleep, fixed. I was falling asleep in minutes instead of scrolling for 2 hours and passing out at 10 a.m. I'm in my mood, the most stable it had been in years. No random crashes, no comparison anxiety, no FOMO. But the craziest part? My creativity came back. I started getting ideas again, random shower thoughts that I actually remembered and wrote down. I picked up drawing for the first time since high school. I even started writing a short story just because I was bored and needed something to do. Landis. When you're constantly consuming content, your brain never gets a chance to create. It's too busy processing input. The moment you remove the input, your brain starts generating its own ideas. You're set. Mond. It's like I'd been living in spectator mode for years, and I finally switched back to player mode. Bams by day, I wasn't the same person who deleted those apps. And then I got the brain scan. All right, so I need to be honest. I didn't get a full fMRI or anything medical that costs like Senlingen requires a hospital. What I did get was a neuroplasticity assessment through a cognitive testing service. Basically, they measure things like MAMD attention span, how long you can focus on a task, right? Working memory, how much info you can hold and manipulate, right? Cognitive flexibility, how fast you can switch between tasks without losing focus, you know? Emotional regulation, how stable your mood is under stress. I took this test on day Ling before I deleted the apps. Then I took it again on day arcer.dan. And the results, attention span, sec, 500 sensor sus improvement. Correct. I went from being able to focus for an average of art minutes to bot minutes before my brain wanted a break. That's a massive jump. Working memory, bifunded RSR improvement. I could hold more information in my head and actually use it. This showed up in my schoolwork. I was answering essay questions without needing to reread the material 5 times. Bendia cognitive flexibility, bifendered circle improvement. This one shocked me. I could switch between tasks more smoothly, less mental friction. I don't want to start this. Bendy emotional regulation, bifended scissor improvement. This was the biggest change. My mood swings dropped hard. I wasn't getting randomly depressed or anxious. I felt steady. Doppelin. The test results literally said, user shows significant neuroplastic adaptation consistent with reduced digital overstimulation and increased mindfulness practices. Stambian translation? My brain had rewired itself in Urser days, and there's science to back this up. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford, talks about how neuroplasticity can happen in as little as 2 to 3 weeks if you're consistent with new habits. Your brain isn't fixed, it's flexible, and you can change it faster than you think. Connell, okay, so let me break down the biggest lessons from this experiment. Ballend, Lesson E, you're not addicted to social media. Addicted to avoiding discomfort. Plandiest, every time I reached for my phone, it was because I felt bored, anxious, or stuck. The phone was an escape. Once I stopped escaping, I had to actually deal with my emotions. And that sucked at first. But it made me stronger. Lesson R. Boredom is not the enemy. It's the birthplace of creativity. Bombians to every great idea I've ever had came when I was bored. In the shower, on a walk, lying in bed. But if you're never bored because you're always scrolling, your brain never gets that space. Lesson Sen. Real connection beats digital interaction every single time. One real conversation with a friend did more for my mental health than 1,000 Instagram DMs. Stop optimizing for likes. Start optimizing for depth. Lesson C. Your brain is a muscle. You have to train it. Planned. If you're always feeding your brain junk food reels, tweets, TikToks, it's going to get weak. But if you train it with deep work, reading, and focused attention, it gets strong. And a strong brain, a strong life. Lesson U, you don't need Archer days to start. You need Archer minutes. Benda, you don't have to delete everything tomorrow. Just start small. Put your phone in another room for Stensor's minutes while you study. Take a walk without headphones. Read 1 page of a book before bed. Don't small dogs actions compound. That's how you change your brain. Duh. So, did I stay off social media forever? No. I re-downloaded Instagram after Arcer days. But here's the thing, I use it completely differently now. Damnly, I turned off all notifications. I don't have the app on my home screen. I only check it once a day for Stir minutes on my desktop. No scrolling in bed. No quick checks between classes. Damned, and I kept 4 out of 5 habits. Morning pages, still doing them. Best habit I've ever built, deep work blocks? Yeah, I do 2 a day, 5 days a week. Non-negotiable. Bam Dow's nature walks 3 times a week. I actually crave them now. Bam Dow's reading before bed. This one stuck hard. I'm on my 8th book since the challenge. Munglin. The only habit I dropped was the 1 hour of social time every day, because that's not realistic with my schedule, but I do prioritize quality hangouts over quantity. Stemmed the point is, I'm in control now. The apps aren't Pandian, and that's the whole game. Panji. All right, if you want to try this, here's exactly what to do. Panji. Step E. Pick one app to delete for chid days. Don't go crazy. Just delete the one you use the most. For me, it was Instagram. For you, maybe it's TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Land step R. Replace it with one new habit. K. Don't try all 5 at once. Just pick one. I recommend morning pages because it's the easiest and has the biggest impact. Land step. Send. Track your screen time every day. Use the built-in screen time tracker on your phone. Watch the number drop. That's your progress bar. Damn step C. Tell someone you're doing this. Accountability is everything. Text a friend. Post it in a Discord. Tell your mom. Just say it out loud so it's real. BM step. Ooh, forgive yourself when you slip up. You're going to want to re-download the app on day 3. That's normal. Don't beat yourself up. Just delete it again and keep going. Dan step low. After chidda days, add a second habit. If you made it a week, add a deep work block. Then a walk. Then reading. Build slowly. Dampania. And if you really want to go all in, do the full Arser days. Document it. Film it. Share your results. Leandro. Because I promise you, if you stick with this, your brain will change. Your life will change. Blam. And you'll finally feel like yourself again. Blam. So, yeah. That's what happened when I replaced social media with real habits for Arser days. Lammed in my brain literally rewired itself. My productivity skyrocketed, my mental health stabilized, and I remembered what it feels like to actually live instead of just existing online. If you're watching this at REM feeling stuck, feeling like your brain is broken, no, it's not. You just need to give it a chance to heal. Start tonight. Delete one app. Write 3 pages tomorrow morning. Take a walk without your phone. Just start. Be inst. And hey, if you do this challenge, comment below and let me know. I want to hear your story. I want to know what changes for you. Because we're all in this together. And we're all trying to build better brains in a world that's designed to destroy them. Let's level up together. Doubt. I'll see you in the next one. Temlesian.